Angel Reese had a total and complete meltdown, not only on the basketball court. What I don't get is the total and complete meltdown that happened on social media.
The drama never stops with Angel Reese. Just when we thought she couldn't stir up more controversy, she finds herself ejected from an Unrivaled league game.
I don't know what it is. She gets ejected, only plays 7 minutes, and her team wins.
Yet somehow her team still won without her.
And I don't know what it is about Angel Reese. When she puts up real productive numbers, her teams lose. Angel Reese goes off, and they lose.
But let's be real. Was this another calculated move from Reese, who thrives on playing the villain? She humiliated Caitlin Clark, Kate Martin, and others just to steal the spotlight Clark created, and now, after getting kicked out, she's suddenly talking about returning to Chicago Sky. Coincidence? We don't think so.
Free me. Like she's trapped. How much money are they paying her? She owns part of the league. She's got equity in the league, and she's not happy.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, the true star of women's basketball, continues to shine without engaging in any of these antics. She rejected Unrivaled's $1 million offer because she knew the league was built on drama, not talent.
The one thing we know that women's basketball is not comfortable with, good marketing. Caitlin Clark are good marketing. I mean, Caitlin Clark comes in the WNBA, their cash cow, shows up, they avoid her. They think Caitlin Clark is the COVID. The whole league just tried to stay away from her as much as humanly possible when they should be entirely leaning in.
She doesn't need to chase the spotlight, she is the spotlight. And let's talk about the Unrivaled league itself. Desperate for attention, lying about their ratings and relying on players like Angel Reese to create chaos.
At some point, TNT Sports is going to be like, we ain't making no money because we ain't got no ratings. And I mean, they don't have any ratings, and she's not pulling them. She had a game last Saturday, didn't even make 80,000 viewers. This person said you complain about everything. Professional life is different, and you can't seem to handle it.
But here's the truth. Without Caitlin Clark, this league is going nowhere fast. Stay tuned as we break it all down. Angel Reese's latest meltdown, why Unrivaled is failing, and why Caitlin Clark is in a league of her own.
She had 15 rebounds, 5 offensive ones, and she missed 5 shots. And I don't know why that happens, but the less she plays, the more successful her teams are. That feels like Andre Drummond, does it not?
Angel Reese just got ejected from an Unrivaled league game, and let's be honest, no one is surprised. This isn't the first time she's pulled a stunt like this. Whether it's taunting opponents, creating unnecessary drama, or playing the victim, Reese has a history of making headlines for all the wrong reasons. But here's the kicker, her team still won without her.
But no one's tuning in to watch Angel Reese. It's just not happening. She's not Michael Jordan, she's not Magic Johnson, she's not Larry Bird. She's someone that taunted Caitlin Clark. Those are the facts.
That alone speaks volumes about her actual impact on the court. If anything, her absence seemed to improve the team's chances. So, was her ejection a real moment of frustration, or just another calculated move to stay relevant?
Have some sportsmanship, seriously. Now, she's still acting up, running her mouth right here. She's pointing out, look, you're running your mouth. Get out of here. The referee said, I'm not listening to your smart-ass mouth. Get out of here.
Let's break it down. Reese played only 7 minutes before getting tossed from the game. She racked up 15 rebounds, but here's the problem. She also missed 5 shots, including easy layups.
Could you hit a rim? Could you not airball to the thousands of people that's watching on TV? It's a pretty poor-looking product on television. The announcers simply pretended Angel Reese airball on the 3 didn't happen.
That's right, the same player who constantly talks about being a dominant force on the court couldn't even convert simple plays. And when things didn't go her way, she lost her temper.
Angel Reese did come out and say last year she was more than happy to play the villain role.
When it's not going well for you, claim racism. When it's going well for you, claim victim/racism. We get it. We understand. And frankly, I just laugh at it.
She came out, made it about race, and got crushed.
Footage from the game clearly shows her sarcastically throwing her hands up, mouthing off to the refs, and refusing to back down even after receiving a technical foul. She pushed it further, leading to an immediate second tech and an ejection. This wasn't just bad sportsmanship, it was classic Angel Reese behavior.
Unbelievable. Black History Month, y'all know I had to be the first. Seriously. So she just claimed that she got thrown out because she's a victim of racism.
And of course, instead of taking responsibility, she ran to social media for damage control. Her response? blaming the referees, playing the victim, and even trying to turn it into a race issue. She tweeted "Free me" as if she were some kind of political prisoner instead of a player who got kicked out for unsportsmanlike conduct.
He tweets out, "Free me." Are you kidding me right now? She literally got ejected and threw a fit, a temper tantrum like a 2-year-old, threw a fit on social media.
But let's not forget, this is the same Angel Reese who once proudly claimed that she embraces the villain role. Now all of a sudden she's the victim? It's a complete contradiction, and people are finally starting to see through the act.
She had a total and complete meltdown. And then talking about "free me" from a players-owned league you wanted to go play in. Caitlin Clark and Asia Wilson set their asses at the house.
This ejection isn't just about one bad game, it's part of a pattern. Reese has repeatedly disrespected opponents, from taunting Caitlin Clark in the NCAA championship to trash-talking Kate Martin and others. She knows that controversy keeps her name in the headlines, and she thrives on it. But the real question is, how long can she keep this up before people stop caring? Because as we're already seeing, when she's off the court, her team actually performs better.
This is her play of the night right here. This is what she needs to do a lot more of for the Sky, for the Rose. That nice little pass out to Lexi Hull, who knocked down the three-pointer. Luckily, nobody was there to see that. I'm sure there wasn't anybody watching on TV either.
Maybe it's time to stop treating Angel Reese like a superstar and start calling her what she really is, a drama-driven distraction. Angel Reese's ejection isn't just about her, it exposes a bigger issue: the Unrivaled League's desperate need for attention.
She's like a child. She's so immature. Money can't buy maturity, no doubt. You can take the girl out of the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of the girl.
Let's be honest, this league was never about pure basketball. From the start, it was built on drama, social media hype, and flashy storylines rather than actual competition. And now, without Caitlin Clark, their plan is crumbling.
She got ejected. She came back, claimed that Sports Illustrated was running clickbait because they put out an article that said Angel Reese became the first player to be ejected from Unrivaled. It's literally not clickbait. It was true. Everything I do keep going viral.
Let's talk about the league's biggest problem: its terrible viewership. Despite all the media push and high-profile signings, Unrivaled is struggling to attract fans. Reports show that their ratings barely reach 80,000 viewers per game, yet TNT Sports, who has financial stakes in the league, is falsely inflating the numbers to avoid embarrassment. They invested in players like Angel Reese, hoping her antics would generate enough controversy to keep people watching.
This guy just crushed her over it. I'm guessing you don't know what the word means. It means tricking someone into engagement by exaggerating or stretching the truth. You are the first person to be ejected from an Unrivaled game. That's a fact. That's not clickbait.
But here's the harsh reality: controversy alone doesn't build a successful league. Fans want elite competition, exciting performances, and genuine stars, not constant drama and forced narratives. And this is where Caitlin Clark's absence is hurting them the most.
And then says, "I can't wait to get back to Chicago, man." This person said, "Don't do that. You spent days bragging about how great Unrivaled is."
The league knew that without Clark, they were going to struggle. That's why they offered her a $1 million deal, plus equity in the league, just to get her to join. But Clark saw through the act. She knew Unrivaled was designed as a platform for players who felt overlooked or wanted to push a different kind of agenda, not for the best basketball talent. She turned down the money, turned down the fame, and refused to be used as their marketing tool. And guess what? That decision proved to be the right one.
We can see right here, I don't think my girl Angel has been working on layups at all, bro. I think Angel is focused on everything off the court. Doesn't look like she's polished or added to her game at all. Another season of this and she'll fade into the woodwork.
Angel Reese, on the other hand, was one of the biggest promoters of this league. She was vocal about how it was for the players by the players, and she tried to sell the idea that Unrivaled was the future of women's basketball. But now that she's seen the reality that nobody is watching, the games lack real excitement, and her performances are getting exposed, she's suddenly trying to distance herself.
WNBA players, along with their pretend friends in the mainstream media, they downplayed the impact of Caitlin Clark. It is amazing how pretend hatred and fake outrage magically seem to disappear when it comes to making money.
After getting ejected, she immediately started talking about returning to the WNBA and rejoining the Chicago Sky. This is nothing but a classic tactic to control the narrative. She's trying to make it seem like she's leaving on her own terms instead of admitting that Unrivaled is failing and she no longer wants to be part of a sinking ship.
Caitlin Clark already has money. She signed a $28 million deal with Nike. She's got endorsement deals from State Farm and a handful of other companies. Caitlin Clark doesn't necessarily need the money. It doesn't make sense. You have downplayed her impact, her importance all season, and all of a sudden, you're offering her $1 million along with a ownership stake in your new league?
At the end of the day, Unrivaled's entire business model was built on controversy, not quality basketball. And without Caitlin Clark, the true face of the sport, they are running out of ways to stay relevant. The league bet everything on the wrong players, and now they're paying the price. While Angel Reese is busy creating headlines for all the wrong reasons, Caitlin Clark continues to do what she does best: dominate on the court without drama. This is exactly why the Unrivaled League desperately wanted her, and why she was smart enough to reject their offer. Unlike Reese, who relies on controversy to stay relevant, Clark doesn't need to chase the spotlight. She is the spotlight.
They are offering Caitlin Clark $1 million for 2 months of her services. Players didn't like Caitlin Clark. Why would they be willing to make her the highest paid player in their new league? The idea to offer Caitlin Clark this money, it did not come from WNBA players. It came directly from TNT. Without Caitlin Clark, this league is a polished turd. I mean, why would Angel Reese want Caitlin Clark in this new league? If Caitlin Clark is there, the spotlight of Angel Reese, it becomes a shadow.
Let's not forget, Unrivaled tried everything to get Caitlin Clark on board. They offered her $1 million plus equity in the league, hoping that her star power would legitimize their struggling operation. But Clark didn't even entertain the idea. She saw through the gimmick. She knew that this league wasn't built for competition, but for attention. And when she declined, it was a huge blow to Unrivaled.
The Clark effect led to WNBA games that didn't even feature Clark, drawing an average of 400,000 viewers. It's the Caitlin Clark effect.
The Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky game, 2.3 million. Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever, 2.25 million. Fever versus the Storm, 2.2 million. Sun versus the Fever, 2.1 million. Okay, so you understand what I'm saying.
Her decision sent a clear message. Caitlin Clark doesn't need Unrivaled. Unrivaled needs Caitlin Clark. And that's the difference between her and Angel Reese. Clark's success is purely based on her skill and hard work, while Reese is constantly searching for ways to stay in the conversation, even if it means creating chaos.
According to the media, this league is filled with star power. Angel Reese might be well known. Angel Reese may be a star on social media, but there's a huge difference between a star and a draw.
Nobody is coming close to the power of the Caitlin Clark effect. Like, they're just not.
The boil on Caitlin Clark's ass, Angel Reese may be playing in the league, but who wants to see a goofy 6'6" woman miss layups?
Let's compare their decisions. Caitlin Clark turned down the NBA All-Star Weekend offer. Every basketball player dreams of being recognized at that level, but Clark doesn't need external validation.
I totally applaud what Caitlin Clark is doing. She's putting the WNBA first. She's saying, yo, we matter first.
Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark will not participate in the NBA All-Star Special 3-point shootout in San Francisco and wants her first 3-point contest to be at WNBA All-Star in Indianapolis this summer.
She's so big that she can afford to walk away from major opportunities without it affecting her legacy. She also turned down Unrivaled's offer. Clark knows her worth and refused to associate with a league that thrives on social media drama rather than elite basketball. Meanwhile, Angel Reese rushed to join Unrivaled, only to regret it when she realized that without Clark, the league was failing. Now, after getting ejected and seeing how low the viewership actually is, she's trying to leave.
Who doesn't love a good girls versus boys moment? I was just thinking, with the momentum that Caitlin Clark has this season, with her being basketball, both men's and women's this year, I just thought it was the perfect stage. And it would definitely bring a little spark to NBA All-Star that NBA All-Star, unfortunately, hasn't had.
This is the difference between a generational talent like Caitlin Clark and a hype-driven player like Angel Reese. Clark's success is undeniable. She doesn't need antics, she doesn't need controversy, and she certainly doesn't need to humiliate other players to stay relevant. The reality is clear. Caitlin Clark is in a completely different category. Angel Reese may try to compare herself to Clark, but the truth is, there is no comparison. Clark's impact on the game is unmatched, and she's proving that you don't need to create drama to be a superstar.
36 million she drove to Indianapolis just by showing up as a rookie and making history. And so I understand her point of view. She wants to probably let other athletes shine. And she also says, like, it's earned, not given. There are other people that can use that spotlight to compete as well. So I think Caitlin, she moves because she knows people follow her no matter where she goes. And she's very strategic about dictating where her value is.
Meanwhile, Reese's desperation to remain in the headlines is backfiring. She's becoming more of a spectacle than a serious basketball player. And that's why the Unrivaled League is failing. They put their faith in the wrong players, while the biggest name in women's basketball didn't even bother giving them a second thought.
The Unrivaled's Week 2 ratings have come out. They are real bad. In fact, Angel Reese failed to break 100,000 viewers. Now tell me again how everybody's tuning in for you. A lot of people are tuning in for that little highlight where she lined up for that wide open top of the key three and then airballed it. She's still getting crushed.
At the end of the day, the difference between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese couldn't be more obvious. One is a generational talent respected for her skill, leadership, and ability to elevate women's basketball. The other is a controversy-driven player who thrives on drama, antics, and playing the victim whenever things don't go her way.
The Caitlin Clark experience has been non-stop. Here's a woman that becomes the biggest star in sports.
Without Caitlin Clark, the ratings were going to be a dumpster fire rolling downhill on a tire fire, and that's exactly what we've got.
Angel Reese thought she could dominate Unrivaled, but reality hit hard. She got ejected, embarrassed, and exposed, and now she's looking for a way out. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark continues to rise, proving she doesn't need gimmicks or chaos to stay relevant. Her talent speaks for itself.
The new women's basketball league Unrivaled is averaging 194,000 viewers. Coverage on Monday night averaged 166,000. Saturday coverage averaged 98,000. The battle between Dejanay Carrington and Angel Reese barely broke 75,000 viewers. Are you kidding me? If Caitlin Clark would have played in that game, it would have got 500,000 viewers.
And let's not forget, Unrivaled's downfall is happening right before our eyes. Their desperate attempt to use Reese as a star player has failed, their ratings are a disaster, and the one person who could have actually saved the league, Caitlin Clark, wanted no part of it.
I mean, that is garbage. We told you people wasn't going to tune in for this league. We tried to tell you that. Oh no, watch, Angel's going to ball. You can't argue with 76,000 viewers.
So while Angel Reese scrambles to change the narrative and find a new way to stay in the headlines, Caitlin Clark will keep doing what she does best: winning, thriving, and proving why she's in a league of her own. And that's why, no matter how much Unrivaled tries to fake success, without Caitlin Clark, this league is going nowhere. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more real takes on the biggest stories in sports.